Hey guys, YouTube 100 here. Alright, now here I am to kick off my reviews for the month of live action movies based on cartoons. And to start, I'm going to be kicking off with the review for Popeye. So, yeah, so I'm sure that this is like one of these movies that is one that was won't really like come immediately to people's minds when they think of live action movies based on cartoons because yeah, this one is kind of like a set away from like a lot of the other ones because yeah, the other ones were like kind of like made like sort of like consistently like as I'm reviewing making these reviews throughout the month. And I noticed that like when these movies were released, it was like kind of like through a consistent time span. Yeah, but with this one, like this one was made like a much earlier than like the other ones were. Like this movie was released in 1980, so yeah, so it did come like significantly earlier than a lot of the other like ones that are like more well known. So yeah, this movie is like a kind of like a was released in like a different time span than a lot of the other like more well known ones. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so like I said, this movie was released in 1980, and yeah, and yeah, a lot of people really are not really fans of this movie. Like a lot of people really have been like just hating this movie over the 40 plus years it's been out. Yeah, and people are just really saying that it's really just not a very good movie and just saying that it absolutely sucks. So yeah, so this movie has received a lot of hate over the years, and yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't see why because yeah, this film really isn't like really all that interesting, and there's really probably not really a whole lot of a point for this movie to even exist. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, if you look at it as like an actual like adaptation of Popeye, it really isn't actually all that bad. I mean, I'm not saying that this is like a necessarily a good movie, but I don't know. I mean, for if you're like a diehard fan of Popeye, you may actually enjoy this movie. Like, I think this is a movie that is like made like specifically for fans of the original Popeye cartoons. Yeah, I think this movie is really more geared to them because yeah, because it really does have like a lot of the elements of Popeye. Like it really does like have like a lot of like the elements that people really do know from the cartoons. So yeah, so yeah, I really think that this is really a movie that's really like more geared to really just like real like people that really do know the cartoons very well. Yeah. So yeah, so me personally, I really don't really know all that much about Popeye. Like I really didn't like really watch any like old Popeye cartoons, yeah. But yeah, I do know how of course a Popeye is a sailor and he's like got like some like really like huge arms and he's always like protecting olive oil from Bluto, and he has a thing for spinach, and of course, like he does have like the famous theme song "I'm Popeye the Sailor Man." Yeah, and also like his famous laugh, yeah, yeah. Plus, yeah, I even actually do like have a drawing of Popeye. Like as of late, like I've really kind of like been getting into like drawing some sketches, and yeah, and for the last few days, I have been like drawing up like sketches of like various characters, and I even made one for Popeye. Like, take a look at this. Like, yeah, this is like my sketch of a Popeye right here. Yeah. So yeah, and I have like been making like sketches for like some other various characters. Yeah. Yeah, so I really don't know really know like all that much about Popeye. So yeah, so I really think that this is really a film that really isn't like geared towards like my demographic. Like I said, I really do feel that this is a movie that really is like just specifically for like fans of like the old Popeye cartoons. Yeah. So like I said, this movie was made in 1980. And this was also like one of the first films to feature Robin Williams. Yeah, I think this was a Robin Williams like very first starring role, and it was like one of the early films of his career. So it does have that distinction of like being like one of Robin Williams' first films. Yeah, yeah, and of course, Robin Williams is a Popeye in this film, and I do think that like he does just fine. I think that he does just fine as Popeye. I mean, he really pretty much does get like the mannerisms down. Yeah, and this film also does have like a cast members like Shelley Duvall as Olive Oil, Paul L. Smith as Bluto, Paul Dooley as Wimpy. Yeah, and you pretty much just have like all the characters from the Popeye cartoons in this movie. Yeah, and I do think everybody does just fine in this film. Like, I don't really think that like it's anything like I don't really know if like I would go so far to say that the performances are good, but yeah, I think they do just fine in this film. Like, nobody in this film really is like truly terrible, but yeah, nobody in the film really is like actually like anything that would really stand out. I think. Yeah. Yeah, so this film is also actually like a collaboration between Paramount and Disney. Yeah, Disney actually did work with Paramount to make this movie. Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people really don't know. I think I didn't even really know that until I actually did see a Doug Walker's a Disney December review for this movie. He did mention that this is also technically from Disney. So yeah, so it is interesting that Disney actually did a collab with another studio to make this movie. Yeah. Yeah, and as far as like how this film actually is, like as far as a film goes, I mean, like I said, like it really is nothing really that great, and yeah, and it probably really doesn't really have like any like real reason to truly exist because I really don't think that there really is enough material to actually like make a film out of this. But yeah, as is, like I said, I don't really don't think it is actually like truly terrible. Like I did actually kind of like see some effort that actually did go into this. Like I said, I do think that everybody does just fine. I mean, yeah, there really is not a whole lot to work with in this film, but what they did, I think they did do just fine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this film really just has like a whole bunch of stories. It's like Popeye comes to the town of a Sweet Haven. Like he comes to search for his father, and then he then eventually does meet the Oil family, which includes Olive. Yeah, yeah, and and it explains how Olive Oil is become engaged to Bluto. Oh yeah, but then yeah, it shows how Olive Oil really he is not really doesn't actually want to marry Bluto, so she tries to run away from it, and then eventually like it shows how Popeye really is actually not really fitting in with the townspeople. Evil, everybody just kind of just like is like really silent around him, and they don't really acknowledge him. Yeah, so yeah, Popeye is just kind of like not fitting in with anyone either, and then they then eventually like meet, and then they do like uh eventually find uh baby that they named Sweet Pea, of course, and then there it eventually turns to this like a story arc of uh how a sweet pea can actually like predict the future and stuff, and then eventually like he does end up getting stolen, and yeah, then like yeah, sweet pea then just like into just really falling into the wrong hands after like a wimpy does actually take sweet pea to actually like bet on horse races and stuff, and then yeah, then eventually he Popeye just gets unhappy with it. People just wanting to use a sweet pea to basically make money. So then, yeah, Popeye just takes Sweet Pea away and then tries to run. Yeah, then eventually Popeye does gain like people's respect after he throws like a local taxman into the sea. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, then eventually like a Bluto does kidnap Olive Oil and Sweet Pea, and then he then ends up just taking them away, and eventually then Popeye then discovers that uh this that a mysterious his sailor named Commodore, or is actually yeah, Popeye does like learn that like he is his father poop deck Pappy. Yeah, yeah. Then it really just does turn into like Popeye then just gathering up uh his uh his father along with the oil family and Wimpy, and then they set out to actually stop chase Bluto to rescue Olive and Sweet Pea. Yeah, then it just like leads to like a Popeye then just having fights with Bluto, and then then eventually then Popeye is just like totally overpowered by a Bluto, and then eventually like leads to um uh Popeye like being a force fed spinach by Bluto, and like it's like shown at first like how Popeye really just hates spinach, but after Bluto force feeds spinach to Popeye then just really just revitalizes his strength, and then he is able to like fight Bluto back and defeat him, and then also is able to like save Olive Oil from um, uh, this a giant octopus that's trying to go after her, and he defeats the octopus too. Yeah, so this movie really just has like a kind of like a real simple, really kind of plot. Like, yeah, really just like all these stories like going on. It is basically just like it really doesn't really like feel like a movie. It just kind of just feel like more like it's just like episodes of the show like compiled together into a movie. Because yeah, it does have like a lot of like a bunch of like a story arcs in it. So yeah, so I really don't want to really, like just to repeat everything Doug Walker said in his December review, because he really did like already he really did talk about all that about like how it's just all these stories, and it really is just like all over the place in this film, and it really just feels more like a episode of the show rather than a movie. Yeah, so I really don't want to repeat everything that he said, but yeah, that's really like how this film really seems to be. It really just seems to be like a compilation of like all these stories just like squeezed into a movie like this. So yeah, so like I said, like there really is not really like a whole lot of like material in this film to I really think that really does give it like really much of a reason to exist, and there really probably really isn't a whole lot of stuff like this for Popeye to really like make into a movie. So because yeah, and a lot of stuff about the film, I guess like it really doesn't work because a lot of like the slapstick and stuff that Popeye is really like known to have, like it really doesn't really like totally work in this movie. Like I don't know, just a lot of the slapstick just really doesn't work in live action and stuff. And yeah, there is like a lot of stuff about this film that doesn't really seem to work. Yeah, this film also did have like all like a set of songs in it. Like there were like songs in this movie, but quite honestly, I really don't remember any of them except for like the Popeye theme that's like done at the beginning and the end of the film. That's really the only song that I do remember from the film. So yeah, it's the songs of the film really are not too memorable, and yeah, and really, like I said, there's really not really like a whole lot of the film that really does like stand out. I mean, like I said, I think the cast is just fine. I mean, Robin Williams, like as Popeye, I think that's like I think he does just fine in the role. Like I mean, if like I said, like if you do like the cartoon, you probably will like Robin Williams as Popeye, because I do think that he does just fine in the role. Yeah, yeah, and like I said, like everybody else seems to be just fine. Like Shelley Duvall as Olive Oil, she's fine, and yeah, everybody else, I guess, is just fine. So, like I said, I really do think that this film really just does come down to if you're a fan of the original Popeye cartoons, and yeah, and that it'll really just depend on that if you will actually get any enjoyment out of the film, because yeah, like I said, like just yeah, it does. I guess like it does have like the stuff that people do know from the cartoon in this film. So yeah, so I guess that's really just like what this film really does come down to. Like, if you're a fan of the Popeye cartoons, you will like this film. But if you're not, then yeah, this film will probably won't have anything to offer for you. So yeah, so I just really don't know what to really say about the film. Like, I don't really like want to like truly like hate on it, because I honestly did see like effort put into this, but just yeah, I just really don't think that it really did like deliver. So Yeah, so honestly, like, I guess wh- what I my verdict on the movie is that it's really not like great, and it probably really is like pointless to exist. But honestly, I really don't think it really is like a truly horrible movie. Like, I don't really think that it is like totally like deserving of all the hate that it has gotten over the years. Like, I did actually see some effort put into this, but yeah, I can still understand like why people really wouldn't like the film, and yeah, and even I really wasn't really like that big of a fan of this film. So yeah, so I guess like like I this probably really isn't a film that I will always like go back to watch. Like, I even haven't actually like really like seen it all that much. So yeah, so I really don't think this is a film that I really am going to be like putting on to watch like all that much. I probably you don't know if I will even like watch it again for quite a while. So yeah, so if, like I said, just it really just comes down to if you're a fan of Popeye or not, if you will actually like get any enjoyment out of this movie. So if you are a fan of the Popeye cartoons, I guess I could give this. I guess I would say that you would enjoy this film. Yeah, but if you're not, then I think that this is definitely a movie that you can skip over, because yeah, this film probably won't have anything to offer for you. Yeah. So I guess this is the best way that I can say it. I mean, I know that this review has just like it's kind of been a different review than what I've done. I haven't like given like a little summary about the film and then like go over the plot and everything. But yeah, just I really don't really know like how I can really just explain the film like that, because there's just really not a whole lot in this film to really talk about. So so like I said, the verdict really is just like if you're a fan of the Popeye cartoons, you might get some enjoyment out of it, but if you're not, then you can skip this film. So I guess I would probably give this film around I guess I would give it like 2.25 stars out of 4. So yeah, so not really a good rating, but at the same time, it's not really like one that is like a truly horrible one either. So yeah, it's not really horrible, but yeah, it's just like it's really just a pointless film to exist, and not really a whole lot to really offer here, especially for non-fans of Popeye. Yeah, so I guess that's really like the best way that I can put it for this film. All right, so yeah, so I guess this is all I really have to say about this film. So I guess this does it for my review of Popeye. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. I know this was kind of a different one, and I really couldn't really say a whole lot about it. But yeah, for a lot of the other films I am going to be talking about this month, yeah, I will be able to say a lot more about those films than I was about this one. So yeah, so these reviews will get better. Like, I will be able to talk more about the other movies I'm going to be reviewing this month better than I was able to talk about this one. All right, but yeah, so stay tuned for more of these reviews coming up throughout the month. All right, but yeah, this does for my review of Popeye. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.